nonprofit engaged in the production and distribution of independent digital black media. Find out more by going to blacktalkradionetwork.com or blacktalkmediaproject.org and look for the menu tab, Crowdfunding Black Media. Black Talk Media Project, helping to provide you with new black media for the new millennium. And opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Welcome into the Mind, Body, and Spirit show tonight, and we are here on this lovely Wednesday evening. It is June the 28th, 2017, and how are you? We want to welcome you in. And you can call in and share your thoughts with us tonight because we're going to have a great conversation tonight. Just a great conversation speaking on all things spiritual and worldly. Let me see. It's Feather Light here with us. Feather Light.
Yes, I am. Hello. Namaste.
Namaste. Bonsoir. ¿Cómo estás, señorita? ¿Cómo está?
Hola.
Hola.
Thank you. I hope our listeners are doing well this evening. Ready to hear some good conversation from us on spiritual and worldly things.
Yes, indeed.
To improve our lives.
Yes. Improve, and that's what we're all about here at the Mind, Body, and Spirit Radio Show. Improving our lives, and Lord knows I need to improve mine. Oh my gosh, I definitely need to. I do try, people. I'm on that mission every single day, trying to improve my life. So tonight, Feather Light, we're going to talk about all things spiritual and worldly. Tonight is Spirit Talk, Respect the Love. And, we're always talking about loving yourself, respecting yourself. And so tonight we'll just have some conversations around self-love and respecting yourself, loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself and respect yourself, some people know this and some people don't know this. Nobody's going to love and respect you. You have to love and respect yourself. So we want to talk about that. In the vein of love, we'll also have an interview with author Yahara St. who is the author of 25 books. She has a new novel called Chasing Hearts. So we will have that interview with Yahara St. I love her name, Yahara St.
It is beautiful.
She's
a beautiful person, too. I saw her picture.
Absolutely.
She's been really throwing out a lot of books.
Oh, my gosh. She reminds me of Dr. York. Like Dr. York has written, I think Dr. York at one time was listed in the Guinness Book of World Records for having written the most books ever in the world. And written a number of great books. I would love to join a book club or start a book club and just read through some of her romance novels. I don't read a lot of romance novels, and I feel like to incorporate that into my reading schedule, some of her romance novels would be some nice light reading, yes, in my reading schedule. That would be great. I would love to just kind of relax my mind sometimes and maybe live vicariously through someone else's romance life, the exciting romance life, because, you know, those romance novels are usually laced with all types of excitement, and drama, and chances, and daring adventures.
I was looking through, I was looking through some of her novels, and I saw one that caught my eye, a title called Dirty Laundry. So I thought, that sounds juicy. Dirty Laundry. I too, have not read many romance novels. But when she came, when she came on the scene, I thought, well, let me check her out, and I saw the Dirty Laundry, and I actually purchased it. And after the interview, I'd like to share the prologue with the audience just to give them a taste of her writing, which I found very intriguing. I was like, okay, let me turn the page. So it's good to have something like that, romance. I usually do the supernatural, the things that are not really seen with the naked eye type of reading. Hidden things. One of my first books was Coma by Robin Cook, about how they do medical snazoos in the hospital room, and then I just got into that. But I would like to, and I have started reading some romance novels, hers specifically. So. I think it's wonderful, and she's giving her take on millennial dating in this particular one. So that would be interesting. That would be
a great read and a great study.
Exactly. That's why I chose that one, because I have no idea what's going on out there. In the millennial. I heard about it. It's changed. It has really, really changed.
Yeah. You millennials, your dating scene, I interviewed some young millennials a couple of weeks ago, and my goodness, they were telling me that the thing with some millennial dating, not all, I'm sure. We don't want to lump them into an entire group of their dating habits. But from these two young women that I interviewed, they said that a lot of men that they're dating have this thing where they're saying, well, I just don't want anybody in my business. So there's no real commitment, definitive commitment that we're in a relationship or anything like that. Yeah, relationship. And so I was like, well, I mean, do they even ask you to be with them exclusively? And they're like, no. I said, do they take you out in public? No. And I was just completely shocked, and the reasoning was because I just don't want people in my business. This is what they tell them. So we can't really be out in public and things like that. I'm like, what the hell? No. If we can't be out in public, we can't be in the bed and be out in public. Please. You can take me to the park, like I keep saying. So often, some of these men, and I understand because finances are low with a lot of people. People trying to save money for whatever reasons, things like that. But there are 1,000,001 different things that you can find to do. Maybe not 1,000,000, but there are quite a few events and activities that people can engage in without spending money. You just have to be creative, and you have to actually flip through a newspaper sometimes. But even now, even like those little free press papers that every city has, you just go into a store and grab one of those. Once you pick up one of those, you flip through, you find all kinds of events that are going on. Like here in Houston, that's one thing I love about Houston. If you don't have like tons of money to spend, or I mean, you don't live an elaborate lifestyle where you can maybe have dinner once a week or a couple of times a week, or go out for happy hour cocktails. I mean, here in Houston, we even have places where you can have a margarita for $1.50, and all you need is really two of them. Right. So now, if you don't have $3, then you really do need to give it up. Just give it up. Just give it up. I mean, a bomb can go and collect $3 a day. My goodness.
Right.
But I mean, like things like going to the park, sitting down, just talking, getting to know a person. That's a great evening out. It's nothing wrong with that at all. You don't always have to spend money. In fact, try it sometime. Even if you do have money to spend like that, just try an evening out without having to spend a ton of money. Because I know it's expensive. When I went to the theater, which I rarely do, when I went to the theater, having to pay for parking, because we went to City Center here in Houston, you have to pay for parking. The movie was like a 2-hour and 20-minute movie when we went to see All Eyes on Me. And so I think parking was like $13. The tickets were, I think, maybe like $10. And then this was a place where you can, purchase your cocktails and food inside of the theater and, sit there, have your little dinner and drinks and all of that. So, I mean, clearly someone taking somebody else on a date, you can spend in the upwards of like $50. So I know that's quite a dip in your pocket. So you don't always have to do that. You can find some other things to do and kind of save your money. So I just don't want people to, especially men, I don't want men to feel like, well, I don't need to date a woman or speak to a woman because I can't afford to take her out. And then it just ruins everything.
They have 3 days. They have 3 days for the museum. Find out what day that is, and go.
Yes. Yeah, 3 days at the museum. Find someplace where they have a cute little patio. Get a glass of lemon water and sit down and drink that water and have your good time. You know what? Who is that? I want to say, let me see. I'm trying to think. It's some famous woman. I want to say that it was Jackie Onassis that said that if she ever was in need of meeting someone wealthy, she would, it may not have been Jackie Onassis, I'm not sure, but anyway, it was a wealthy woman that said that she would go in a bar, and one of the best hotel bars, and sit there and have a glass of water, and she would meet someone. So it's just, I'm just saying that because there's simple things that you can do. You don't always have to go somewhere and spend money to have a good time. You really don't. Just, people enjoy your life, find some free activities to get involved in, and just, meet people and enjoy your life. And we need to get back to romance, and that's why I'm glad we're speaking to Yahara St. John tonight about her romance novels, because we need to get back to, and I really don't like to say romance because it comes from the Romans, but just for the sake of speaking on her novels tonight, we'll use the word romance. I really don't like to say romance. I used to have another word for it, but I can't think of it right now. I'm not going to worry about it. But anyway, what's going on with you, Featherlight? How are you?
I'm doing good.
You good?
Doing good.
You good? Good. Yeah. All right. Cool.
I got a couple of quotes I wanted to share.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a couple. I'm going to say this one quick because I saw this one and I just want to share it. It's not my main one, but no one ever justifies the killing of a white person by saying white people kill each other too. Ever. You don't ever hear that. You don't ever hear that. I was, I don't get on the Twitter much, but I had to get on the Twitter and say something about the All Eyes on Me movie because I wanted to congratulate the young man who played Tupac's role. And I happen to see.
His name is.
What is it again?
Is Demetrius Shipp.
Demetrius Shipp. Demetrius Shipp. You guys hear that? Look for him. He is good.
The reason why I'm making certain that we say his name is because quite often we know the names of, let's name any other actor, Michael Douglas. Okay. We always know these people's names because they're always promoted to us. Their names are constantly promoted to us. But a lot of our black actors, we see them in tons of movies. For instance, Joe Morton, who plays Papa Pope on Scandal. Excellent, dynamic, long-time thespian. And I had to keep looking up his name. And I had to remember to lock his name in my head because I never hear his name. His name is not out there like Denzel.
No, it's not. And he is superb.
Phenomenal. I love him. He's one of my new favorites. So anyway, his name is Demetrius Shipp.
Demetrius Shipp. So I was trying to think of what happened. So, okay. So the verdict was in, and of course all the jurors, said not guilty, whatever. And so this obviously European person said, well, black people are killing each other all the time. What does that have to do with anything?
It's a deflection.
I mean, that was his response.
The talking point, and it's a
black people kill each other all the time. White people kill white people. Asian people kill. You kill. You do things where you live. Where you are
always says.
Yes. But it's not promoted. If you don't hear about it, and that's done strategically, and it's done for a reason, so that we will be portrayed as killers, as no good, as just not worth. Just say that again.
So that we can be viewed as miscreants and reprobates.
Right.
Criminals.
Right. So it would be total apathy when something brutal happens. And really that is how it was played out with the Holocaust. I mean, once I got old enough to go to the library and do some research on the Holocaust, I just thought, how in the world were all those people killed and nobody did anything? No country stepped in, So I just, did some history on it, and you build up a group of people, just as you say, as miscreants, is no good, is worthless, so that when something horrible is done, everybody just turns their head, like, oh well, they were always killing each other anyway, So I just saw that quote, and I just wanted to, and we need to stop saying that. I hear a lot of black people say that. We need to stop killing each other. Please. Stop saying that. Okay, this is my quote for today. I have to get that out. Right. Energy is the currency of the universe. When you pay attention to something, you buy that experience. So when you allow your consciousness to focus on someone or something that annoys you, you feed it your energy, and it reciprocates, gives back, the experience of being annoyed. So be selective in your focus, because your attention feeds the energy of it and keeps it alive. Not just within you, but in the collective consciousness as well. The collective consciousness. So there's such a thing as collective consciousness. It's collective energy, and it's very, very powerful. Our collective energy as a people of color, people of African descent, born in America. I wish I could find a short way to say that instead of black. Our collective energy is spiritually weak and scattered. We're like 5, 10 fingers spread apart, as wide as possible. And the wider apart the fingers are, the less effective the impact. Slap a person with your 5 fingers and then ball those same fingers up and then strike a person and see the difference in the impact. You ball all the fingers together, you've got power. So it's infused with the right amount of energy, it will make a strong impact. So together we can move mountains with the right collective consciousness, the right collective energy. And when we find a topic or a subject or something that we're serious about as a people, we can move things. Fortunately, we haven't found the right things to be so energetic about, like our hair. Blue Ivy, when she had her hair natural, just going out of her hair, just natural, full head of hair, beautiful curls, the way our hair is. People got all upset. You need to straighten that baby's hair. I mean, it became a thing. You remember last year?
Yes.
Someone took the audacity, had the audacity to start up a petition to have Beyonce change the style of her own daughter's hair to the way the public felt that it should be. And they created such a stir. Our collective energy, our collective consciousness of black people, I'm sure whites were not really that concerned, that Beyonce, I guess her people told her, you have to do something because your fans are upset, which they really weren't fans, or they would not have been so upset about how she was doing her child's hair. But that just goes to show it was over 2,000 signatures, 2,000 signatures of people so concerned about how Blue Ivy was wearing her hair that Beyonce finally changed the hairstyle. Another incident, the shea butter incident. Well, this African American had this shea butter business. It wasn't shea butter, shea something else.
Shea moisture.
Shea moisture. And he got some people to back him who were not of African descent, and we just flipped out.
He came on finance. Wait a minute. Let's be clear. He sought and received financing to expand his business because he's a businessman.
Right.
That's what he did, and that's what businesses do when they want to expand.
That's what businesses do. They don't say, "I want your money to be colored."
Did anybody raise any money for him? Did you get a Kickstarter for him? Did you get a GoFundMe for him so that he could expand? Well, sit down and shut up.
Have a seat. Have 50 seats.
Have some seats, baby. If you don't have one, I have one for you. Because that's his business. If that's what he wants to do, to expand his business, if that was his only option, or maybe not his only option, but that's his business. That's what he chose to do. You don't even have to buy the products. You probably weren't buying them. Or some of the people that were complaining. But you don't even have to buy the man products. Boycott his products if you're upset about him expanding his business.
Crazy.
Lord have mercy.
Our collective energy is going in the wrong places. It's going in the wrong places. We could do so much.
Yeah.
So that is my quote.
I love it. I'm going to try not to be angry tonight. I'm a little upset because I was kind of going through some of the hot topics and stories to share tonight. Before we play this interview, I want to talk about this study, this new AP study that reveals something that is not very shocking if you kind of keep up with how our children are treated and viewed, and what's been happening, what our children have been experiencing in terms of being suspended or expelled. So this AP study reveals that adults think that black girls are less innocent, less in need of protection and nurturing, and seem older than similarly aged white girls, which could lead to stiffer punishments in school. And we already know that because I remember in Nashville, there was a study conducted that revealed many of the young black boys enrolled in the schools in Nashville were being expelled at a exceedingly higher rate than white boys. In fact, I wish I had those numbers, but in fact, I think like it was the boys, it was so crazy because it was like, say the school system was comprised of, let's just say 15% black males, and the expulsion rate was, say, like 80%. So you're just expelling every damn black boy for nothing and everything. Okay. So, yeah. So the report also said American adults think black girls know more about adult topics and about sex more so than white girls of the same age. And those perceptions are greater when it comes to younger black girls, the ages of, get this, 5 to 9 and 10 to 14. So you think that these 5-year-old babies, 5 years of age, because they're not old, 5 years of age to 9 and 10 to 14, 10 to 14, I believe like 12-year-olds and 13, 14, they're still considered like tweens. So they're like the young teenagers. So these are still babies. These are babies.
They are.
Okay.
Yes.
And you feel that they are not worthy of protection. This is a baby. Let's see. The discrepancy continues to a lesser degree with girls ages 15 to 19. This new evidence of what we call the adultification of black girls may help explain why black girls in America are disciplined much more often and more severely than white girls across our schools and in our juvenile justice system. This is according to Rebecca Epstein, the lead author of the report, and she's the executive director of the Center on Poverty and Inequality at the Georgetown University Law Center. The study surveyed 325 adults from a variety of racial and ethnic backgrounds and educational levels across the U.S. The Department of Education in 2014 said that black girls are suspended at higher rates than girls of any other race or most boys. Let's see. This report mirrors one by the American Psychological Association in 2014 that showed that black boys as young as 10 are more likely to be mistaken as older. Can we say Tamir Rice? Remember when they said, well, he looked like a man. That boy doesn't look like no darn man. He was a boy. He looked like a boy. So they're perceived to be guilty and face police violence if accused of a crime. Let's see. These findings show that pervasive stereotypes of black women as hypersexualized and combative are reaching into our schools and playgrounds and helping rob black girls of the protections of other children. Can we say McKinney, Texas, when that young girl was assaulted by that police officer at the pool party?
Exactly. In her bathing suit. Oh, my gosh, it was so horrible.
Yeah. Can we say Texas again just recently when the mother came to the aid of her child because that man slapped her child? Remember that? Now, let's take it to Chicago with this story. And you can call in and share your thoughts on this story at 866-510-9025. We'll take your calls. And also you can mail your letters and comments and questions in to mindbodyspiritradioshow@gmail.com. Let me share this other disturbing story that I came across. Let me see. I'll have it on my tablet here. Let's see. Now, this went viral. This is a story. Let me get this up. In Chicago, some people probably have seen the video or heard of this story. Let me just get it. So this young boy, I just came across this story, too. Let me just give a synopsis of this story. So what I read is that this young boy was given some type of cocktail, a beverage, that perhaps had been laced with some type of drugs. And so the boy's older brother questioned the person who gave his younger brother this drink that was possibly laced. A fight ensued. One of the young boys was beaten badly, and he was sitting on someone's porch. And this porch, it just happened to be some whacked out, apparently crazy cop, off-duty cop. He comes outside, and he begins to choke the boy. This is the video. You can see this video if you have not seen it. I read that it's been viewed over 2 million times, so the video has gone viral. And so the cop just continues to choke the boy. He's just choking him, and the boy is trying to tell him. Then I just read that the boy has asthma.
Oh, my goodness.
This is why we need to make sure that our children take some judo classes, some Krav Maga classes, because I've had judo. And the position, if that boy didn't have asthma, the position that cop had that boy in, if that boy had been trained in some type of self-defense, he could have easily used a judo move on him and gotten out of that chokehold. I don't know who the heck was doing all the videoing and all of this stuff, because there were a bunch of boys that were in the fight, and some of them did disperse, which this young man, he was trying to go and get some help for the young man, and then that's when the cop came and stood over him and choked him. I mean, you can see this. The cop is choking this boy, and the boy is asking him, why are you doing this to me? I wasn't even the one that was on your porch. I came to help my friend. And the cop was just using all of this foul language, assaulting the boy and telling him his friend is an idiot and he's going to effing kill him and all of this. So activists are calling for this cop to be fired. I did also read that the parents are now seeking some legal action. Okay.
They should.
Yes, I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm so glad, because before I read that the parents were seeking some legal action, I said, where are the parents? Where are the family members? Where is the community? I hope that somebody is helping this family in Chicago. And then I was like, man, where are all those gangsters that they say shooting up everybody in Chicago?
Right,
when you need them. You know what I'm saying? Where are they?
Yeah.
And, but then it goes back to, like I said, okay, that's why I don't even believe that it's just all, this gang-related. These people just so tough, and they just running around killing people. I just don't believe it's like that in Chicago. I just really do not believe that. Because you mean to tell me you so gangster, but y'all had not even a couple of people have been politicized enough to understand that you have to protect the community in some kind of way? But you gangster, though. So I just don't even believe all of that. Could be wrong, whatever. But my point is, these children are not being protected. I keep saying this. I know people think I'm crazy. They always have. I don't care. But I'm telling it like I feel and like it is. These children need to be protected. It is no way in the... If somebody kicked my dog, you got trouble. I don't have children, so my dogs are my children. You kick my dog, all kind of strength and force coming in me. I'm taking you out. I got you. I'm getting your butt. I'm getting you. Don't even get me started. You know how I get on my Godfather and Starface. I'm getting you, your grandmama, the mailman, the dog. I'm catching you when you come out of church. the golf course, the cleaners. I got you. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting your mailman. All of that. You know how I get to talking all big talk like I'm gonna do something. But no, you're not assaulting my children like that. No, I got you. I'm gonna get you. Believe that. So anyway, I said all of that to say I hope that this family has the strength and the wherewithal to fight this case and to make certain that this cop loses his job. You assaulted a child. He needs to be arrested and indicted on child abuse. You assaulted somebody. Where is CPS?
Where is CPS?
Where is CPS?
Where is CPS when you need?
You're so happy to and anxious to take people's children out of the home. How about really protecting children?
For little or nothing. For little or nothing.
Yeah, what's that all about? What's that all about?
Take them out of the home because they're getting homeschooling.
Yes. Yes, so I was so disturbed when I came across this story. Let me see, what's this young man's name? What is this young man's name, people? Let me see here. I had this name up. Excuse me, my computer is like shutting me down. I guess they don't want me to talk about how you need to take care of your business when these people are assaulting your children and all this. But this was in Lansing, Illinois. Let me see. Can't find the young boy's name. Okay, yeah. Jordan Brunson. 15. That's a baby. He's 15. Suffers from asthma. So he was having a lot of difficulty breathing. The man is choking him. And it was just horrible. It's horrible. So, oh my goodness. I'm almost speechless because I just can't believe I just came across this story just like a few minutes ago. And so I'm still just kind of like completely speechless about this. I cannot believe it. And I really hope that the community can come together and help their family pursue some legal ramifications for that. That cop needs to lose his job. Even if he doesn't lose his job, still, something needs to be done. He needs to be handled.
Something needs to be done. We need to protect our children. We really do. It's getting too bad. It's as if we don't care.
Exactly.
It's just,
How do you let that happen? So, after I read this story, Featherlight, I said, where's the Nation of Islam? Are they involved? Where's Farrakhan? That's in, the Chicago area. So, what's the deal? What's the deal? So I'm gonna actually go on to the Final Call webpage and maybe try to reach out to some of those brothers and see. So, what's the plan of action? We'd like to know. Please let the community know what's the plan of action. We'd love to know, and love to know what do we need to do in order to assist to ensure that this child abuser does not have an opportunity to commit anything like this again. It's horrible. 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 Goodness, I just can't take it. I just can't take it. And I don't know how y'all
it really is.
I really don't. I don't see how people can sit back and pass the chicken when these people are attacking our children.
I don't either.
Our children can't even walk down the street without having their brains blown out, without being shot in the middle of the street like Laquan McDonald up there in Chicago. And those officers have been indicted in the Laquan McDonald case, not because they shot and killed him, but because they were conspiring and lying and all of this.
Right.
Hey, you
Covering
guys
up.
always say that we were fabricating all of this police brutality and the police are helping and they're just doing their job. What about those police? Were they just doing their job when they were covering up a murder?
Right.
Oh, were they just doing their job? Okay. Okay. All right. That's how we're going to play it. Okay. So you can check that story out. It's online. It's also a YouTube video again. Power to the family. Hope you get a chance to see that damn police officer or whatever it takes. I don't know. Where are all these damn black lawyers, or just not even just black lawyers? Where are the lawyers that are for righteousness? Where are they?
Exactly. Just for righteousness.
Yeah, not just
doesn't matter what
not
color
just the
you
white
are.
lawyers. That's right. Hey, because this is about a spiritual war. We're up against a spiritual warfare, an evil spirit that is lurking, and we will survive. We will win. Further, like tonight, we're also honoring Thomas Sankara from Burkina Faso. We're honoring him for our African Spirit segment tonight. So, very, 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 very touching story about this brother, young brother. He was doing so much there. So we'll talk about him tonight. Let me see. Let me just share this little piece here, and then we're going to play our interview with Yahara St. John. But I would like to share a Tupac quote. Tupac said, we'll be sharing Tupac quotes throughout now here at Mind, Body, and Spirit, because as y'all know, I love me some Tupac. Just speaking of Tupac, I can go on and on about Tupac. I really like this piece that David Banner shared online. He spoke about how everyone loves Tupac. They love to copy his style, just like Tupac used to sing about. They love his image and all of this, but no one is carrying out his plans and his goals that he had for the community. And so I really, really, really want to give a shout-out to Brother David Banner for speaking on that, because I haven't heard many people speak about that other than myself, and I'm sure some other people that I don't even talk to that say the same thing and feel the same way. But see, that's what I liked about the All Eyes on Me movie. Like I said, people were looking for certain things in the movie, I imagine. But what I appreciated is that movie opened up with a Panther speech. And I believe it was Eldridge Cleaver that was speaking. I hadn't had an opportunity. I've just been super busy. I haven't had an opportunity to Google that and try to find out who is that speaking. It sounded like Eldridge Cleaver speaking. I think that's who it was, Eldridge Cleaver. But anyway, in the movie also, again, as we mentioned before, it just shows how he was so down for the people. And so that's what David Banner spoke about, how no one wants to carry on that torch. They just want to, be loved like Tupac by the ladies and talk about whatever, I don't know, third passion or something, versus actually carrying out what Tupac set out to do and accomplish. For instance, I was listening to this radio interview with Tupac, an interview with Tupac, and the interviewer asked Tupac, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Tupac says, well, I see myself owning stock in Death Row, and he said, I see myself starting some Little League sports teams, and the rappers are going to fund these teams, and we're going to have these games for the children, and they'll be involved in these sports leagues, and we'll eat pizza, and we'll have fun. Oh, my God. When I heard him say that, it literally brought tears to my eyes, because I just thought about what this brother was about to lay down. And I guarantee you we would not be in the position that we're in now if we had him continuing those plans, because he was so influential. He was just so influential. So I just love that, and hearing him say that, starting those Little League teams, and we go eat pizza and we have fun, just something so simple.
And they'll give, and also he said that the rappers would be the coaches, and they would have real diamond trophies. Mm-hmm. They would spend their money that they earn and have real diamonds in those trophies for those children.
In the trophies, right. versus just wearing some diamonds and all of that. You have a trophy that you actually earn. You
and you could only play on the team if drug-free and something else, gang-free. Yeah.
Yep, drug-free, gang-free, and you had to keep your grades up.
Yes, you had to keep your grades up to be on the team.
Excel in school.
How inspiring is that?
I'm telling you.
Yes.
I'm telling you. So, for everybody that's, on the Tupac jock, but just on the jock for the music tip, that's all fine and well. But dig deep into that brother and see where his mind was and what he was all about, what his struggle was about, what was he really trying to impart. So let me see. I'll just read this quote. And, Scott, if we can get ready to play Yahara St. John's interview, that would be absolutely wonderful. This is a Tupac quote. It says, "Is it a crime to fight for what is mine? Is it a crime to fight for what is mine?" Mm-hmm. So we have to fight for what we want, what's ours. We have to fight for it. Here's another one. Don't change on me. Don't extort me unless you intend to do it forever. Mm-mm. No, that's not the one I want to read. I'm sorry. I actually want to read this one. I don't see myself being special. I just see myself having more responsibilities than the next man. People look for me to do things for them, to have answers. But he doesn't see himself being special. Such a brilliant brother. Love him.
Complete.
Love your park. Love your park. All right, let's see. Scotty, Tupac. Do we have the video ready for our listening audience, Yahara St. John?
Make Black Talk Radio your choice for digital black radio. New black media for the new millennium.
All right, we want to welcome you back into the Mind, Body, and Spirit radio show. And we are here with author Yahara St. John, and she is the author of over 20 books. I believe you said you're working on the 28th book now. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, my goodness, 28 books. I haven't even started on the one. Well, I have one chapter written, and I'm just having writer's block. So I'm hoping to become inspired, and I'm already inspired just sifting through and perusing through some of your titles and the book covers and the trailers for your books. I just find absolutely amazing. But before we get into all of that, we want to welcome you in. Let me give you a hand clap. I don't have my sound effects, so I have to clap myself right now. So we want to welcome you in, and thank you so much for your time. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Great, and thank you for taking the time. Good. As I was reading through your bio, you began this passion for writing at an early age, about the age of 12. How did that start?
It started because I grew up in a really religious family that kept the Sabbath every Saturday, Friday night rather, to Saturday night. And that didn't leave me a lot of time for fun, like other, children my age. So I decided to write about all the things I was missing, So, I wanted to go to summer camp, or I wanted to, hang out with my girlfriends. So I kind of started maybe in the vein of those, if you recall, some of those Sweet Valley High books. But, it was just very teenage-oriented, because that was my reality at the time. And so I wrote about all the things I wanted to experience, like going out on my first date or something like that.
Okay. And you know what? You mentioned Sweet Valley High. I think I pretty much read every book from Sweet Valley High. That brings back so many memories.
Yes, I think we all, were pretty addicted to those back in the day. So, that was kind of my, foray into giving myself a go at doing something similar.
I was also into, of course, the Nancy Drew mysteries as well. I think I pretty much tried to find every book I could in the library about Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys.
I read a few of those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
As I grew older, I began to read more romance novels like the Harlequin and, Jackie Collins novels. I would always read all of those novels, too.
That's actually where I got my start as well. You know, I kind of started out in teenage years, and as you get a little bit older, I was always at home watching soap operas. So that kind of started my love of writing romance, and so I liked romance novels, and so I started reading Harlequin and Danielle Steele. Oh, I would just gobble those up with it. So yeah, I started reading those. But then what was really cool is as the 90s got underway, Kensington Books developed an African American line. So then I was able to see people who looked like myself on the cover, and that's what made it really made me really want to write my first book, because I wanted to see my name on a cover.
Excellent. I'd love to see my name. How old were you when you wrote your first book, if you don't mind me asking?
That's actually two different things. I wrote my first short story when I was 12, but the actual full-length novel I wrote when I was 27. So, and then I got published after that. My first book, the first book I ever published was, first book I ever wrote was published.
Did you have a difficult time finding a publisher? How was that process for you? Because many people have difficulties, I've heard.
I know. I actually feel really blessed that I didn't have those same difficulties. I was able to go to a book conference where I was able to pitch my book to an editor in person, and you're typically able to do that when you go to writer retreats or conferences and those sort of things. And so I was able to do that, and she was very interested in the book. So 3 months later, I ended up with a book deal. So I was really, really lucky that my process went a lot smoother than the average author.
Well, I imagine they were able to recognize the true talent that you have and said, hey, we have a winner here.
I'm glad she thought so. She gave me my first break, so I'll always, be very indebted to her.
Now, tell us about your new book, Chasing Hearts. Give us some insight into this masterpiece.
Chasing Hearts is actually my number 24, but actually my latest one coming up, number 25, is Miami After Hours. It's my 25th book that I've written. I'm very excited. It's going to come out June 1st. And that is a story based in Miami, and it's part of a continuity that I'm doing with several other authors. I'm writing the first book about one hero, Daniel Cobb, who, has been afraid of love, but falls in love with his coworker and real estate agent, Angela Traynor. And so they have to be able to kind of let go of the past. He was hurt in the past by an old girlfriend, and so being able to allow himself to love again is a big premise in the book. So, but there'll be two other books right behind mine that'll be telling other stories in Miami as well.
Oh, Miami is such a great setting for a book. It's just so diverse, so much going on, so much nightlife, day life. Just a great setting.
It truly is, and I actually enjoy when I'm able to do research for a particular book. And so even though I live here in Orlando, I've been to Miami a few times, but I was able to research it a little bit more. So I wanted to find really cool and interesting places in which my characters could go out on a date or do something fun and exciting. So I got to explore and learn a little bit more about Miami and all the cool places and things to see and do.
Excellent. I used to live in Miami, so there's certainly a lot of cool places for people to go and date, the date scene and the night scene. But you know what? You just thought of something that made me really think about what's involved in book writing, the research process. How do you go about that? I mean, do you have these places in your head that you think of in your mind, and do you say, let me travel there so that I can, like what you just mentioned, research different places? How do you do that? How do you go about that process?
So typically when I'm deciding on where a book is going to be located, I actually keep a running list of places where books I've written and where they've been located, and then I keep a list of my wish list of where I would like the next books to be located. And it's typically cities I haven't been to before. And maybe, I guess that's in the hopes that one day I'll visit it or visit it for that particular research. So it's, and I've been blessed sometimes to be able to do that. I wrote a book about Savannah, Never Say Never, and I was able to go to Savannah and do some research and find out more. But sometimes you're not always able to do that. I wrote a book about Philadelphia, and I've yet to go, but, I did a lot of research online. The Internet is a wonderful tool, and it will help you to, make your novels more believable by, just finding out more about that city.
Yes, and creating that visual for people. So for people that may not have even been there, they can have that visual, and those that have maybe people that live there, they can say, oh, yeah, that place, oh, I've been there before. Oh, yeah, she gave a great description in the book. I love that. I love reading a book like that.
Yes, you got to, set the stage, if you will, and, draw them in and make them feel like they're there with the characters. So it's very important.
Excellent. Well, tell us about the Hearts of Arizona series. That seems quite interesting. I need to order that entire series.
The Hearts of Arizona, it was a 4-book series that I came up with. And it started out, I just wanted to initially write about twins swapping places. So that's where the Entangled Hearts Volumes 1 and 2 came from, about a singer, which in my mind was kind of a Beyonce in my head, and her sister, who was an actress. And they swapped places because the paparazzi is after the big-time singer, and she needs a little break. Her sister trades places with her, and they end up falling in love with, her sister falls in love with her manager, and the singer goes to a ranch and ends up falling in love with a rancher. So it's a really, really fun two volumes of that particular book. And then I always like writing about families. So the next 2 books are the brother and sister of that rancher. So Noah's book was Entangled Hearts, but then his sister's book, Untamed Hearts, is his sister's book, and she's a veterinarian who meets this really, really wealthy tycoon who is could be potentially a sheikh in this small kingdom near Dubai. And so it's a really fun story, and I really love writing about Kentucky Derby, even though I had never been. So I really liked that book. And then the 3rd book, Caleb's Story, he's a bull rider, and I'd gone to a rodeo and got to go behind the scenes and see and talk to the bull riders and just kind of find out a little bit about their life. And I decided that that's what the book was going to be on. And so they all fear, essentially falling off the bull. So that's what I decided to happen to the character. And so he gets paralyzed and pushes his love interest away, and years later he's trying to win her back. So the series is very, very in-depth, and you get to see all of the brothers and sisters find love.
Sounds quite captivating. Now you're from Chicago, one of my favorite cities. I love Chicago. Have you ever used your home city as a setting for one of your books?
Oh, absolutely. My first book, One Magic Moment, was set in Chicago.
Oh.
Yes, I can always tell people, one of the first things you'll hear is write what you know. And I knew Chicago. So starting out, my first 2 books actually, were in Chicago. And so I got to write about all my favorite places in my hometown, and it was that book holds a special place in my heart, being the first book, of course.
All right. So you also were a writer for your college newspaper, is that correct? It was the Daily Northwestern?
Yes. I went to Northwestern University. I'm a very proud alumni. And while I was there for a little over a year and a half, I wrote for the college newspaper while I was there. And that's more, obviously, factual. And that's when I realized I was actually a journalism major, and I realized that it wasn't for me. I like writing, but I like writing fiction. And so I switched majors to English with a minor in creative writing. So that was the better fit for me.
Okay. And it's interesting for you to say that because I think quite often students will enroll and figure out their life path as something different, or they have a passion for some other field. Mm-hmm. It's okay to make those changes, especially in journalism and writing. And I know so many people are interested in writing and journalism now, but with the new age of the internet, classes that we can take online or workshops, you may not necessarily have to even go to journalism school now to be considered a blogger or a journalist. What would you? Yeah, that's true. What advice would you give to young people that may be interested in pursuing a career in creative writing or writing their first novel?
The first thing I would do is, obviously, I hope they're reading books in the genre that they love. And whether it's romance or sci-fi or mystery or crime or whatever the case may be. You definitely want to know the type of genre that you want to write in. Read those books. And then I would start by, if you can take a class, if you're completely fresh to writing, I would say take a class. Start to, understand how you create a book. You have to understand plotting and pacing and characterization. So if you've never taken a class before, I would say take a class and try to understand that. And then join maybe a writer organization. We have, for myself, for romance, we have what's called the Romance Writers of America, and they have chapters all throughout the 50 United States. Could be the same case with mystery writers and so forth. That's just not my field. But if there are those organizations available to you for your genre, I would say join them, because they'll meet once a month. They'll have special sessions in which they're teaching you about the craft of writing. You can find a critique partner or a mentor who's already published and can help assist you, with starting that first book.
Okay. All right. I was totally unfamiliar with that, but that's some great advice. Taking a class is a really good tip. I've heard people say, go to a workshop, take a class, you can take a creative writing class, maybe at a library or
exactly, in the library. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, just commenting on what you stated. And what were you about to say about the library?
Yeah, the library offers a lot of free workshops in which published authors will come in and teach you, about plotting or characterization, or even just about how to get published. So those are very good tools for an aspiring author.
Right. And you mentioned like a writer's workshop. I would love to participate in a workshop or retreat, more so like a retreat. I am enrolled in a workshop now, a writer's workshop, and I think that's really going to help with writing my book. However, what is the difference? Could you share like the difference between a workshop and a retreat?
So a workshop is definitely more of a, potentially like either sometimes it's a one-time workshop, or it could be something over 6 to 8 weeks that you participate in, maybe once a week or one time a month. Whereas when you go to a conference, if you will, that's typically over 3 to 4 days. And I'm going to use Romance Writers of America, for instance, as an example, because every year they have an annual conference that takes place over 4 days. And during that 4 days, they will have those workshops. So they will have other authors or people in the industry come in for an hour and talk about everything from marketing to plotting to self-publishing to whatever you want to know. So you'll have workshops in that conference, and you can pick which one you want. They'll have like 6 to 8 in a day, and you just pick which ones you want, and you have 4 days to just gather as much knowledge as you can possibly take in and notes, and then go back home and try to execute it. Whereas a workshop, maybe it's in your local library, it may just be once a week or for a 6-week period or once a month or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So basically, whatever genre you decide, then you should then try to find those workshops and retreats that you can enroll in and participate in and go from there.
Yeah, and you'll find it's really great. You get to network. I remember my very first one, which is how I told you I got my first book deal. I went to my first writers conference over 3 days, and I was able to meet other aspiring authors. And it's great because over the last 14 years, I've watched all of us grow, and we're all published now, and it's really exciting. And when we see each other at conferences, we catch up and find out what's going on. But then, as I mentioned, too, at those conferences, you're able to pitch your book. If you're interested in traditional publishing, you can pitch your book. They have editor and agent appointments, and you can pitch your book and convince them why they should buy it. And so it's a great opportunity for you that you might not otherwise get. Otherwise, you're sending a letter or an email to them, and you could go in their slush pile, and they may not get around to you for 6 months, if ever, because so many people are, want to become published. So meeting them in person at a conference is a great way.
That's a great way. Sounds like a great way. That way you can actually be there, meet the people, talk to you. They can see you, have that interfacing, and sounds very, very successful. Great tip. That was one of my questions, too, like a best practice for aspiring writers. What are some first steps that one should take? I've heard people say if you're beginning to write a book, at those beginning stages, try to write at least maybe an hour a day. What would you suggest?
That's funny. That's actually one of my notes here to remember to give advice about is, yes, I would encourage any new author to write every day. I don't have a set time frame of time, but I would say that if you have a book that you're working on, writing every day will help you understand your story, your plotting, your pacing, but understand your characters so that they become living, breathing human beings to you. And I find for myself even that if I'm not writing every day and I'm just kind of writing every couple of days or so, I'm not as in touch with my characters as I should be. But when I'm writing every day and I'm in the zone and I understand my characters a lot better.
Okay. So more so staying in touch with your characters by writing each day. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And also I find doing a character assessment at the outset before you start any book. And this is for new authors especially. Some of us published authors still do it. It depends on the book for me, but doing a character assessment where you find out everything about the character, from their physique to their eye color, their hair color, what do they do for a living, where do they come from, what about their parents, their family, their heritage, what's their strengths, their weaknesses, their fears, their greatest obstacles. Because once you understand the character, then you can write them.
Mm-hmm. Write and develop a character. So just outlining that character sketch for each character, that would be a first step, would you say?
Definitely for me, as speaking as a romance author, I definitely do it for the hero and heroine. I don't do it for every single character. It might be just like a loose sketch for, the minor characters in the book. But for the hero and heroine, yes, I always make sure I try to have that sketch.
Okay. And apropos of sketching, your covers for your books. You've been very active in designing those covers. Is that correct? Very involved?
I am active. Yes, I am involved. I publish in both traditional publishing and self-publishing. So it's different scenarios for those. For traditional publishing, through my publisher, Kamani Romance, which is a division of Harlequin, they give us, we give them I give them, some themes, some relevant themes that might be a good pick for the cover. I talk about the characters and what they look like, and what I set the stage or the scene for them, if you will. And they usually will pick one of the three, and get my input on what I think. But I don't have as much control over those covers as I do for my self-published. Love doing my self-publishing because I have the vision. So whatever vision I have and how I see the cover, that's what I'm able to. I have a graphic designer who designs them for me, and I will tell him what my thoughts are, what a similar cover that I thought was of interest, and he's just been absolutely wonderful. I've been working with him for 6 years, and he comes out with a really great cover.
I see. This Taming Her Tycoon, that looks so cute and so just romantic, the couple on the bed, and they look so happy. And books like that, they just give us a warm feeling when you look at the cover, and it makes you want to just grab that book and take it home and dream of that being your life, if you're not already living that life.
Thank you. That actually, I had a little more say-so in that particular cover, which is surprising. I actually had 2 options, and I really liked that they made sure that they stayed true to the heroine having, natural hair. And so I was really happy I thought that was well executed.
Okay. I like the title of the Cappuccino Kisses. I love that. And I believe I watched the trailer on that one also.
Yes. The Cappuccino Kisses, I have to admit, my editor helped come up with that title. Sometimes titles I have to admit, don't always come to me readily. I may start out with one, and then we tweak it a bit and come up with that. But the Cappuccino Kisses kind of stems from the fact that in the book, the hero owns a coffee company. So that kind of, is the riff off of that. But, so sometimes you can, pick, your title can come from, a story element.
A story element. Okay. Yes, definitely. I love that.
But you mentioned book trailers. I knew there was something else I wanted to touch upon, which I actually handle those all myself. It's not through my publisher. It's something that I felt was a good marketing tool just to help fans get a visual of what the characters look like or how I envision them to look like, and just kind of give them a little tidbit about the story and get them excited about the book's release.
Yes, and like I said, this was so new to me, seeing this type of book trailer. It's like a mini trailer for a film, and it really does inspire the reader, and also, like you mentioned, gives the reader a visual, because we always try to visualize those characters in our head, because these characters in the books, they become like a part of our lives, and just like, I guess, maybe a series that you're drawn to, you begin to just really follow these characters, and they become a part of you. And so being able to have that visual of their characters with the trailer, not you just creating the visual in your head, I find it quite fascinating and quite helpful in reading too. I can't wait to dig into some of your books and begin to read them. I have found a new author, people, and
Thank you.
I have not been into these types of romance novels in years, but just reading through your bio and
inspired you.
yes, it's like, oh yes, okay, I need some light reading like this, something with some passion and romance and people's lives, and
it's an easy read. I love reading for entertainment and just enjoying it, and so there's always a happy ending. And who doesn't love a happy ending?
Yes, really a happy ending. There's a book, let me see, which one is the title of the book about the young lady? Let's see, Mariah. Mariah she moves to Seattle with her aunt, and she starts a bakery. And she meets this man. Let me see, I cannot think of the title of the book.
It's Cappuccino Kisses.
Is that Cappuccino Kisses? Okay, all right. Cappuccino Kisses. That's why it stayed in my head. I found that it was quite interesting, her dilemma. And I don't know if we should reveal it, but it's in the trailer. Could we kind of talk about that a little bit? What she's dealing with in the book in terms of her secret that she doesn't want to share with the new person that she's met. And I can imagine quite a few people experience that. You meet someone, you may want to start a family, but then there's this issue.
Yes. And so those are sort of, I always write romance, but there's usually a touch of something, dramatic or going, relevant for the time, such as, in Cappuccino Kisses, I'm writing about infertility. And in my book, Unchained Hearts, my character is from the military and is suffering, is a former, Army vet, and he's suffering from PTSD. And all those can be very real and personal and can touch readers that hopefully can relate or maybe know someone that something like that has happened to.
Yes. And with the character dealing with weight issues and love and realizing those red flags, how often do we just disregard the red flags that show up in these new encounters with people? And that's a good point to bring out in the book, because we tend to overlook some of the red flags sometimes. And apparently she sees some red flags, but maybe she ignored them initially.
Exactly. But then she's able to find love with Everett, and he supports her and is understanding, and we all wish we could have a man as good as him.
Absolutely. And these chocolate brothers on these covers, oh my goodness.
Oh yes, I love when they give me a really good
yes, some
nice
eye candy
on the cover.
Yes. You did a great job in selecting those pictures, or whoever selected the pictures. Excellent. Nice eye candy. And so your books are known to have high drama, seduction, and passion. And those are definitely the types of books that I love to read. And I'm sure many of our listeners would love to read your books as well and get some of that romance and high passion. How can we follow you? And give us your website. And tell us one of your favorite books that you've written.
You can follow me on my website is www.yarastjohn.com, Yahara, YAHRAH, STJOHN.com. And I'm on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So if you want to reach out to me, you can find me on the web or just type in Yahara St. John on Google, and tons of sites for me will come up. And you asked me what one of my favorite stories. There's so many.
I'm sure you have so many.
There's a lot. I've enjoyed quite a few. Obviously, I say my first book always is one of my favorites, and it's writing about my hometown. But I especially enjoyed writing my orphan series about four individuals who grew up in an orphanage, and then once they got older, they were each other's family. So I loved writing about Quentin and Dante and Malik and Sage. They were really characters that resonated with me, and so that was quite fun. And I really enjoyed the Heart series, as I said, the Heart of Arizona series that I just finished up. As I said, it was really fun writing about this family in Arizona and all their dramatic issues trying to find love.
I think that is the first. I think I'll start out with your series, your heart series. Sounds quite interesting. Just looking over the series, I said, this would be great to start with. And that way I can complete that series, and then maybe I'll move on to the Cappuccino Kisses.
Yes. And I have that Adam's Cosmetics series. That's always a lot of fun with, and that's you have an antagonist through the whole 3 books who is against their family and is trying to sabotage the Adam's Cosmetic Company. And so, but each of the 3 brothers and sisters are falling in love, so you get to see them fight this one, bad guy and see it all kind of play out in the end. So I think you'd like that as well.
Okay. All right. I need to write that one down also. And you are a celebrated author also. And so we just want to give you your accolades and awards here also from the Mind, Body, and Spirit radio show. And we will have to have you back after you finish your book that you're working on, because by that time, I'm sure that I will have read through some of my heart series, and we can have a discussion on some of those characters in those books as well. I'm so excited. I just feel the passion already. I feel the passion already. I'm just ready to kick back with my beach hat on and lounge on the beach and read one of your romance novels.
Excellent. Well, I'd love to be back, so just let me know when.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I have to let you know I will follow you, and I can tweet you and say, hey, I love this character. I am at this part, and she's doing this, and he's doing that, and oh, my God.
Okay, and that was our interview with Yahara.
So much fun.
St.
I love reading.
I love
reading.
Of
thank you so much for all that
books,
you
and
shared
she
with
is
us today.
Still writing, quite commendable. She's young. She's beautiful. Support the sister. If you are
we lost Sister Black Rose. Are you still there? Featherlight? Featherlight? What happened?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, so we lost Black Rose. Okay. Well,
I'm back. I'm back. Yes. The evil forces are trying to deal with me tonight. The evil forces are jacking up my computer. The evil forces are dropping my phone line. But I'm back. I'll be back. I will be back, and I will keep talking. I will not stop. I'm going to go down, kicking and screaming and yelling. So bring it. Anyway, I'm back. You can't stop me. I won't stop. All right. Anyway, that was great? I really enjoyed her.
yes, that was a very good interview. I enjoyed listening. Oh, wow.
Yes.
And I'm just looking at all these titles.
Yes, all of these titles.
I love her titles.
She won the 2013 Best Kamani Romance from RT Book Reviews for her book A Chance with Yahara. Yes.
What was the name of it again?
A Chance with You.
Oh.
A Chance with You. 2013, she won Best Romance. Best Romance from RT Book Reviews. I know for people who are into reading Harlequin romances and love stories, she is a great author to adopt for your bookshelf and for your heart. Check her out, Yahara St. John. And also, let me just share this. And Featherlight, I know you have a piece that you would like to share about Yahara St. John. You have until June the 30th, people. June the 30th. And you can enter this giveaway. It's a Goodreads book giveaway. The title of her book, Miami After Hours, Yahara St. John. You can enter for the giveaway. You have until June the 30th. Today is June the 28th, so get busy. Go on to her webpage. You can just Google Yahara St. John, and you'll be able to go straight to her webpage. You can watch some of the trailers for the book.
Spell her name again.
Trailers for a book. Excuse me?
Spell her name again for them.
Oh, okay. It's Yahrah St. John. Yahrah St. John. Okay, you'll be able to watch some of the trailers from the book. Right now I'm looking at a couple of the trailers. Miami After Hours, Chasing Hearts, Taming Her Tycoon. Let me tame a tycoon. Lord knows I can tame a tycoon. I'd love to tame a tycoon. Yes. Okay, so you have something to share with us also, Alpha Light.
Yes. The book that's entitled Dirty Laundry, which I purchased. And I just wanted to just share just a prologue with the audience, just to give them just a little snippet, make them want to just see how good she is. This is dedicated, she says, to my single girlfriends for inspiring me to write about our tales. Prologue. Ever wonder why some women hang on to a doomed relationship, hoping that a commitment-phobic prick will one day decide to marry them? I never understood it until now. I know why, because I fell prey to that situation. After dating a man for 2 nerve-wracking years and living with him for 3 years, I realized he was never going to get down on one knee and give me a ring. I'd wasted some of my best years waiting for a proposal that would never come. I was going to become yet another statistic. You know the one I'm talking about. Another single, college-educated, African-American woman of a certain age without a man. I still don't understand how I got to this lonely place despite all I have to offer. I'm a 34-year-old, high-level financial advisor with no children. I'm intelligent, beautiful, sexy, and physically fit. I know how to cook, clean, and school a man's brains out. I'm every man's wet dream. Yet with all this going for me, I, Layla James, have always come out on the short end in the love department. So for every single black female who reads this, let my life be an example of the road that should be less traveled. You see, I should have scooped out my future husband at Clark Atlanta University instead of waiting until I was settled in my career and financially stable. I chose an education over a lasting relationship. Once I received my degree, I thought the world was my oyster. Boy, was I wrong. What followed was a steady rise in my professional career, while my social life netted zero. Where shall I begin telling my sad tale of failed relationships? Should I start with my good-for-nothing father who left my mother and me for another woman and then proceeded to have 3 children with her? Or perhaps I'll start with Conrad Smith, or maybe with the guys who followed him. That's when my friends and I realized the abundance of good-looking, intelligent, and available men was quickly diminishing. And what was left was online dating, speed dating, jobless men with no ambition, jailbirds, playoffs, thugs, athletes, old-ass sugar daddies, young blood gigolos, professional students, white men, and the worst offenders, down low brothers, married men, and men with baby mama drama. So I've decided to take a sabbatical from all this falling in and out of love. Instead, I've decided to do some serious soul searching to find out why I always come up empty. You know, see my therapist and preacher and find out why God has it out for me. I'm going to share all of my and my girlfriend's dirty laundry and explain exactly what led me to this moment. Very interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
Very interesting. So it's her and her sweet girlfriend that this is writing about. It's going to tell their lives and their dating lives. So it's juicy. It's very good.
Yes. You can also sign up to follow her e-newsletter. You can sign up to follow her e-newsletter on her website. So sign up for the contest, sign up for her newsletters, purchase her books. Yahara St. John. Yay! Yay, you, Yahara. Yay, you. Thank you. Yes. Clap. Thanks for reading that. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Black Talk Radio since 2008, providing new black media for the masses.
All right, we're back here at the Mind, Body, and Spirit radio show, and we just finished an interview with Yahara St. John, author of 25 books. Sign up for her newsletter. Sign up for the contest on yaharastjohn.com. Father Light, have you ever heard of the history of the East St. Louis, Illinois riots? Have you?
Oh,
have
yes.
You
I'm sorry. I had myself on mute. Yes, I have.
Okay. So, just a brief, a little brief history on the St. Louis riot, because I have a press release to read. On Tuesday morning, July 3rd, 1917, the daily papers had big headlines announcing a riot which had been in progress in East St. Louis for 24 hours. It stated that upwards of 100 Negroes had been killed and that thousands had been driven from their homes. That more than 60 homes in what was called Black Valley, the Negro district, had been burned, and that nearly $500,000 worth of property had been destroyed by fire. Very similar to what happened at Black Wall Street. The Negro Fellowship League immediately got out bills announcing a meeting that would be held at the reading room for that evening. Although the notice was short and the bills had been on the streets for only 2 hours, the place was packed by 8:30, and there were some resolutions put forward. So this is the 100-year commemoration of that race riot, and it's a lot of history to read on that. We don't have time to go through it, but like hundreds of black people were thrown over bridges and killed. So in St. Louis, in East St. Louis, let's see, this coming weekend, 100th commemoration of East St. Louis race riots, a continuing series of commemorative activities to mark the 100th year anniversary of the East St. Louis race riots, will be held Saturday, July 1st through Monday, July 3rd, 2017 in East St. Louis, atop Eads Bridge. According to historical accounts, East St. Louis broke out into race rioting from July 1st to July 3rd in 1917. Most historians agree July 2nd was the worst day of the rioting, fighting, property destruction, killings, and mass black exodus. The East St. Louis race riot has been referred to as race war by many of the survivors. So there are a number of commemorative activities. There will be films and discussions on July the 1st. And also, Sunday, July 2nd, Day of Commemoration, opening activities, reviving and renewing East St. Louis. There's also a program in wreath placement that will start at 7 p.m. atop the East Bridge. And a memorial wreath will be placed in the Mississippi River. And the program will also highlight historical accounts, music, songs. There'll be flying lanterns. The lanterns will be lit and released from the bridge at the conclusion of the program. The releasing of the lanterns is in honor of those who lost their lives during the riots and in recognition of how a community united to end the violence and provide relief to the survivors and their families. This event is sponsored by Freedom Trails Legacy of Hope, Teach, Teachch, Sudan Illustrators, Committee for Historical Truth, and Progressive Emporium, and Education Center in coordination with East St. Louis 1917 CCCI. And on July the 3rd, Monday, a day of resurrection, there'll be discussions, communities of color taking control of their own destinies. It begins at 1 p.m. at Greater St. Mark Family Church. So let me see who you can contact. Now, Ida B. Wells actually wrote about this, so you can peruse through some of her writings. Ida B. Wells was a great recorder of many of these race riots during that time. For information, you can contact John Lancaster of the Teach Society. His number is 314-875-9277. That's John Lancaster, 314-875-9277. Or you can email progressiveemporium@yahoo.com. progressiveemporium@yahoo.com. If you're looking for something to do to celebrate the weekend while you're off, then you can go over to East St. Louis for the 100th commemoration of East St. Louis race riot. All right. Now let's move into our African spirit for tonight as we prepare to honor Thomas Sankara. Well, I tell you, people should see my little dance that I have when that music comes on. It's something about that drum beat, baby. That African spirit. Oh, it's something about that drum beat. It just gets into my blood, and it comes from my toes. I mean, my cute little baby toe right up to my pinky finger, and I just, woo! I love African drumming. Love it.
I love it, too.
I can remember.
You can't help but move.
You can't help but move. Well, if you have some rhythm and African spirit in you. But speaking of African spirit, don't let me take up a lot of time talking about me, as I always do, because I love talking about me. But anyway, Thomas Sankara was a military captain, Marxist revolutionary, Pan-Africanist, and president of Burkina Faso from 1983 until 1987. He was born December 21st, 1949, and he was assassinated October 15th, 1988. His wife was Miriam Sankara, and children, Felipe Sankara and Auguste Sankara. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young brother was charismatic, an iconic figure of revolution. He is commonly referred to as Africa's Che Guevara. He seized power in a popular supported coup in 1983 at the age of just 33. Just 33. Same age, they say, when Jesus was crucified, with the goal of eliminating corruption and the dominance of the former French colonial power. He immediately launched one of the most ambitious programs for social and economic change ever attempted on the African continent. That's why we really wanted to speak about him and honor him tonight. To symbolize this new autonomy and rebirth, he renamed the country from the French colonial Upper Volta. That's what Burkina Faso was named as a French colonial subject. So he changed the name to Burkina Faso, the land of upright man. Burkina Faso means land of upright man. He wanted his people to be upright and upstanding. His foreign policies were largely centered on anti-imperialism. His government spurned foreign aid and tried to stamp out the influence of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank in the country by adopting debt reduction policies and nationalizing all land and mineral wealth. Now, he was said to have been one of the most down-to-earth presidents at that time. He lived in a small, modest house and rode a bicycle. And he had $350, only $350 in his account at the time of his death. Mind you, he was the president. He contested within his inner circle because he never wanted his army colleagues to embezzle public funds and lead a flamboyant lifestyle. In fact, he prohibited his cabinet members from driving like the fleet Mercedes and all of that. He said, nope, we're going to all just do away with that. You're going to be regular. We're going to be just like the people, regular people, because that's what we are. And he also laid down rules, whereas people had to wear clothes from the cloth that was made right there, cloth from Burkina Faso, versus buying clothes from different countries or different people or spending money unnecessarily in that way. He said, we will make our own clothes. We have our own weavers who will make our clothes. So there was, of course, a lot of people, just like in Cuba when Castro came in and said, you're not going to sit up here and just eat up all the food and throw food away when we have some hungry people across the way. No. So Thomas Sankara said, we have our own weavers, we have our own skilled people, and we're going to use the skill of our people here for us. And not just continue to squander our talent and money. He was all about self-sufficiency and land reform policies. And he designed different policies to fight famine. And he wanted to make sure that everyone was literate. He launched a nationwide literacy campaign, vaccination campaign. At one time, families they would hide their children when it was time for vaccinations because of religious or ritual reasons. And when Thomas Sankara came in with his new vaccination program, people were able to receive those needed vaccinations. So again, like we said, he was known as Africa's Che Guevara. Just a good brother, was for the people. Of course, some people were not pleased with some of his changes because he said that we're going to live a simple life where we can all thrive. You know, you just have in your groups, some people, they do want to hoard. They want to hoard all the wealth, all the knowledge, all the riches. And he was just one of those brothers that was totally against that. Oh, definitely we do. So we honor Thomas Sankara tonight with our African Spirit, Mind, Body, and Spirit Award. He is our honoree for tonight. Yes, he is.
I also noticed when you gave the date of his birth and his death, he transcended at the age of 39, which is a popular age for us, of us losing our heroes. 39.
Yes, 39.
Such a young age.
Che Guevara, Martin, Malcolm. There was somebody else that I read about, I think. It may be just those four. Yeah, assassinated at the and Thomas Sankara was assassinated by his best friend, his comrade, Blaise Compaoré. Oh my God! So you gotta watch those friends.
Your
now,
enemies close and your friends closer.
Yeah. Blaise was one of the ones that wanted to hoard all the land and the wealth. And you know what? After he set his own friend up, Thomas Sankara, then if people remember just a few years ago, I think it may have been 2014, when Burkina Faso rose up against Blaise Compaoré, and they had to, I think it was France had to send a helicopter over to rescue Blaise because they was about to do him in. So you see,
they figured him out.
What happened? Karma. Oh yes. Yes, and then he was rushed to a burial. I mean, this was the president. They killed him, assassinated him, and then just buried him in this little shallow grave like he was nobody. So that was just horrible story. Yeah. You can watch his documentary on YouTube. YouTube needs to start paying me some money because you know what? Let me tell you something. YouTube, I keep every show I'm promoting. Go on YouTube and watch this video. Watch YouTube. We're waiting on the check. Mind, Body, and Spirit is waiting on that check. We need that check here. You can send it to Mind, Body, and Spirit at gmail.com, our PayPal. We appreciate it, you too. We certainly do. So, Feather Light, what do you have? You have a spoken word for us? You want to do your spoken word or move into your Love the Body? We have some time.
We have time. Let me give this quote quick. The energies coming to Earth, because we spoke of love, the energies coming to Earth now are so powerful that everything not of love is being pushed to the surface for healing. Let me read that again. The energies coming to Earth now are so powerful that everything not of love is being pushed to the surface for healing. So the universe is shaking you to awaken you. Things are happening. They're happening. Bad things are happening, but they're coming up because they don't need to be there. You need healing. Really, really do need healing. And do not turn away from the healing. Yeah. Okay, I think I will. I think I'll do Love the Body. I'll do Love the Body.
Okay. Well, before you go into Love the Body, can I just share this little piece on love?
Sure.
Here at the Mind, Body, and Spirit radio show, we've spoken about, waking up in the morning and sharing with yourself or telling yourself these love affirmations in the mirror. So it's all about loving yourself, people. I see so many young women, and I mean the beautiful, beautiful young women inside and out, but they look so worn down and so broken and so hurt. And a lot of these women I see, they're young women. They're young, but they look so old in the face. Yeah. They look so old. And it just breaks my heart. So sisters, start with loving yourself. And with that said, I'm going to have to share just a little quick, tough love, and then we're going to our Love the Body. Some quick, tough love. Sisters, especially you young sisters, and I'm not trying to fat shame or hair shame or anything like that, but sisters, you're going to have to keep your bodies together. It makes no sense. I have never seen a generation of young people so out of shape. And it's not out of shape that you just out of shape because you fat. So that's why I'm not fat shaming. I'm saying you're walking around here just looking sloppy. You can tell that you don't work out. You're not trying to do any crunches or leg lifts or yoga or run, walk, nothing. So you're too young to look the way that you look. And you can't live off of fast food and not exercise and expect to live a healthy life with longevity.
Right.
So pull yourselves together. We're going to talk more about this. And I'm saying this with love. And the reason why we said respect and love is because we want respect, but you have to respect yourself first. Right. I hear these sisters complaining about the brothers this, the brothers that. But then when I look at you, I'm looking at you like I would treat you the same way because you have not combed your hair. You have not put on any kind of makeup, or there's some people that don't even wear makeup, but you can still have your face looking kind of decent. Wash it. Make sure it's not full of acne. Take care of your skin. Stop drinking all of those sodas. Put on some decent clothes. Comb your hair. Take those sleep bonnets off. I keep telling y'all, the sleep bonnet is a sleep bonnet. It's for in the house.
Right.
We are African women. You can wrap your hair with a beautiful scarf. Ladies, stop wearing those sleep bonnets out of the house. Stop it. Stop it. Pull it together. Keep yourself together. You want these men to respect you. A man is not going to respect you when he can look at you and see that you don't even respect yourself. And another thing, and then I'm going to be quiet. House shoes are house shoes. They're not to be worn out. I see you out here, these little fuzzy-wuzzy house shoes on. Those are house shoes. They're flip-flops in Dollar Tree, in the dollar store. They're $6 sandals at Walgreens. Purchase some of those. If you can't purchase them, send Mind, Body, and Spirit a letter. I'll send you some. But do not wear those house shoes out of the house because they're house shoes.
They're house shoes.
So I'm tired of seeing these young girls, 20 years of age, but you hadn't had time to comb your hair, so you put a sleep bonnet on, and then you're walking around with house shoes outside. Who does that? So let's stop it, and let's pull ourselves together. Now, I'm not trying to talk bad. I'm just talking real. Because when we were coming up, we had elders that would tell us these things. And I understand that your parents have been pulled out of the homes for many reasons, so nobody has been able to be around to give you this instruction. So we're here to give it to you. Straighten up. Straighten yourself up. Work out. Eat better. Fix yourself up. Don't come out the house half-stepping. That's how we used to say it. Don't come out the house half-stepping. Have your stuff together. Look cute. Look presentable. It's not all about just being beautiful and looking pretty, but you want to look decent. Yes. Yes. And it's not decent. You're not decent or appropriate when you have a sleep bonnet on your head. I saw a little girl, young girl, I don't even think she was 10, sleep bonnet. What you doing with a sleep bonnet on? No, baby, let me talk to your mom, because that's wrong. That's child abuse. All right, I just had to say that. I'm sorry, I went into a little bit of love the body town. Yeah, okay. It's all about love.
And we need that. We need some tough love now. It's time to stop, messing around, playing around. I mean, when I was coming up, I know it was a long time ago, my mom, I never saw those little ugly shoes. I never saw those little fuzzy, ugly shoes. She always wore these little gold slippers with the little wedge heel, and that's what I knew. That's what I grew up on. It's like cute little house shoes, and she never wore them anywhere. It's like, these are house shoes. And she never wore the little rags around her head. She always had something pretty on her head. She always comb their hair when she stepped out. That's why I do what I do. When I step out, I'm out. Because I may say I'm going to Walgreens. I may say I'm going to run up here to Kroger. But I may want to stop somewhere else or somewhere else or somewhere else. I'm out. I'm out in the public, in public view. I look at myself, okay, I look presentable. I don't see that when I go out. I'm not seeing that. And it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. Ooh, these little girls, they so out of shape, too. I mean, they have these big stomachs and, oh, my God. I'm like, what's wrong? You're only 20. When I was 20 years of age, I think I weighed like 119 pounds. I mean, because we just didn't, and again, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying we took pride in the way we looked, and we worked out. We exercised. We were conscious about what we were eating. But I was a vegetarian when I was 19. We were like that, though. We were conscious about food at that age.
Yep.
So, anyway, okay.
All right. So, love the body. Love the body. You can think of your body in two ways. One, as mechanical, like an automobile with only so many miles. Or two, as a living, breathing, energetic vessel manifested from spirit. Either way will greatly affect the length and quality of your life. So choose wisely. Love your body and it will love you back, just like a vehicle. Take care of it. Do preventive maintenance and it will take you far, many miles. Do the opposite, and it will break down on you every time when you least expect it. And you can buy another car, but you only get one body. One body, one birth mother. That's the deal. So, loving your body. Tonight I wanted to share some tips on making a smoothie, which is like health in a glass. It's simple. You can get your vegetables. You can get your fruit. And a lot of people, they really don't know, what to put in the smoothie. So I've got some tips for you. Some things that you can add to your smoothie to make it healthy. Chia seeds, C-H-I-A. Chia seeds, very good. I put chia seeds in my smoothies all the time. They contain omega-3 fatty acids, fiber. You can add spinach for iron and calcium. It's more calcium than milk. Skip the milk, okay? You go adding all that milk to your smoothies, you're going to blow up. You don't need all that. It's got spinach has more antioxidants than blueberries. So mix these items in with your smoothies for extra nutrients. Lemons give you cleansing benefits, and you get that citric flavor. If you want detox, you add kelp and spinach. If you want to make your smoothie sweet, add 1 teaspoon of agave. Am I pronouncing that right? Agave. Dates or raisins. Guave. Honey, not that cheap honey, the real honey. The organic honey, but it doesn't ferment in your stomach. Stevia or yucca syrup. If you want to make yours.
We have 2 minutes on Featherlight. We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
To wrap
Oh,
up.
my God.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Not 5 minutes of funk, just 2 minutes. And now about 1.
Okay. Well, let's go right into breathing. Okay, so this is a good one for in the morning, okay? In the morning, when you wake up, this is what you can do to help get your blood pumping and so that you won't have such a stressful day, okay?
All right.
So stand up. Mm-hmm. Stand up. Take a deep breath. Breathe in your stomach. Breathe out. When you breathe in, and then when you breathe out, just bend over and let your arms dangle. Let your arms dangle and let everything just rush up to your head. And then when you breathe, when you raise up, breathe in, and raise your body up. Do it again. Breathe in, then breathe out, and let your body drop. And let your arms dangle. Then breathe in again, and breathe in slowly, slowly, as you bring your body up. Do that a couple of times when you first wake up in the morning, and you'll find that you'll have less stress throughout the day. That is my lovely body and breathing for tonight. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, I love that. I'm always a lot more relaxed after their breathing, so we certainly appreciate that. I appreciate it, and I know that our listeners do too. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Featherlight. Thank you, listeners, and we will be back next week. Peace and good night.
Namaste.